All right, let's dive into the world of AI and crypto.
Sounds good.
We're going to be breaking down this awesome interview with Lincoln Murr.
Oh, yeah, Lincoln Murr.
He's a product manager over at Coinbase, and he's doing some really cool work with AI agents. This interview was with More Coin Bureau, by the way.
Right, right.
So what were some of your big takeaways?
You know, the thing that really stood out to me was how Lincoln talked about the difference between, like, AI agents and AI tools.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like ChatGPT.
Yeah, ChatGPT, I get it.
Which is great at, like, generating text, you know?
Yeah.
AI agents are, like, totally different. They're designed to be independent actors in the crypto space.
So it's not just like having a really, really smart crypto encyclopedia. It's more like having a personal assistant that can actually manage your investments.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they can execute trades, navigate all those crazy DeFi protocols, even learn and adapt over time.
That's wild. So he used a pretty interesting analogy to describe it, right?
Yeah. He called them viruses on the blockchain.
Viruses. Okay, that sounds kind of scary.
Yeah, but, like, not in a bad way. He was actually highlighting how they can move freely within the crypto ecosystem, you know, interacting with smart contracts, potentially, like making the whole market more efficient.
Interesting. Through, like, competition and innovation.
Exactly, yeah.
So why is crypto such a good fit for these AI agents in the first place?
Well, think about traditional finance for a second.
Okay, tons of middlemen.
Yeah, banks, all those intermediaries, that can slow things down.
Right.
Limit what AI agents can do on their own.
Gotcha.
Crypto, though. It's like built on a decentralized system, right?
Right.
Internet native.
Yeah.
So AI agents can interact directly with protocols, make transactions.
No permission needed.
Exactly. No gatekeepers to slow them down.
Wow. So they're free to do their thing. Optimize your portfolio, make decisions based on your risk tolerance.
Exactly. Imagine telling your AI agent, hey, let's try out some DeFi or keep it safe and diversify.
Oh, cool.
Like, it's crazy personalized.
Yeah, so much potential. And Lincoln mentioned something else that was really interesting. The number of developers working in AI compared to, like, Web3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He said there are way more AI developers out there.
Oh, for sure.
So does that mean we can see a huge influx of talent into the crypto space?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, if you combine that with, like, all the advantages crypto offers to AI agents,
right,
things could get really interesting really fast.
It's not just some far-off futuristic concept either.
No, not at all.
I mean, Lincoln's work at Coinbase is already showing us what's possible.
Yeah.
He talked about personalized AI agents actually becoming a reality, you know? Like your own personal Coinbase AI guru.
Right.
Handling everything from basic trades to, like, super complex DeFi stuff, all based on your goals and risk tolerance.
Like having a financial advisor working 24/7, but, you know, powered by algorithms.
Exactly. No more hefty fees, just smart tech making those moves. That's got to be pretty appealing for anyone who's, you know, ever felt overwhelmed by crypto.
Oh, for sure.
But it also makes me wonder, if these AI agents get super sophisticated, could they eventually outsmart even the best human traders?
Oh, man. That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, like a race between human brains and machine learning. Who's really calling the shots?
And where does it all lead? It's exciting, but also a bit unsettling. Yeah.
Totally, yeah. I get that. So what else did Lincoln talk about?
So beyond individual trading, he also talked about the impact of AI agents on the whole crypto scene.
Okay.
Like he envisioned these AI agent marketplaces popping up.
Marketplaces?
Yeah, where people could buy and sell, like, profitable trading algorithms.
Oh, wow. So instead of just relying on your own AI agent, you could tap into a whole ecosystem of strategies.
Exactly. Like an app store, but for trading bots, you know?
Wow. That's a game changer.
Yeah.
And it seems like it could really level a playing field, right?
Definitely. Imagine, like, successful AI agents being created not just by big institutions, but by individual developers, maybe even communities of users.
That's awesome. It really speaks to the democratizing potential of AI in crypto.
Yeah, for sure.
But we got to be realistic, right?
Of course.
We talked a lot about the good stuff.
Upsides, yeah.
But what about the potential risks?
Yeah, that's a critical part of the conversation. And Lincoln brought it up too.
Okay, good.
Like, you know, with any powerful tech, there's always the chance for misuse.
All right, the classic dilemma.
We need to think about malicious AI agents exploiting vulnerabilities, you know, manipulating markets, even making existing online problems worse, like spam or fake news.
So it's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about Setting guidelines.
Yeah.
Ethical frameworks, right?
Exactly. Making sure these agents are used responsibly. Lincoln talked about safeguards,
Okay.
preventing things from going sideways.
Right.
And even the challenge of telling the difference between, like, a real person and a super sophisticated AI agent.
Oh, right.
Especially in things like airdrop farming, where bots could totally game the system.
Gotcha. So we need to be thinking about market fairness,
Definitely.
transparency, security,
Mm-hmm.
and, what does it mean for society if we're handing over so many financial decisions to machines?
Absolutely. Those are the big questions we need to be asking ourselves.
Well, it feels like we're just scratching the surface here. There's so much to unpack, both with the tech itself and, what it all means to the future of crypto and finance. What are your thoughts so far? Does all this make you more excited about AI agents, or are you a little apprehensive about what it could all mean?
I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about how, like, our relationship with finance might change as AI agents get more and more sophisticated.
Yeah. Are we all going to just hand over our portfolios to robots and, hope for the best?
Maybe. It could almost be like setting your crypto on autopilot.
Yeah.
You set your goals, your risk level, and boom, the AI takes over.
But does that mean we'll all need to become, less knowledgeable about crypto?
That's a good question. Lincoln actually made a really interesting comparison to self-driving cars. Remember, in the early days, everybody was worried about whether drivers would still need to know how to, drive manually.
Right, take over in case the robot car went haywire.
Exactly. But as the tech got better, the focus shifted.
To what?
To, understanding how to interact with and trust those AI systems.
Okay.
Because they were the ones actually in control. So it became less about knowing how to drive yourself and more about, knowing how the AI driver worked.
So basically, just got to make sure you and the robot are on the same page.
Exactly. What are its limitations? How to communicate what you want?
So it's we're going to need to learn a whole new language.
Kind of, yeah. The language of AI.
Right. AI for dummies.
So we can talk to our robot financial advisors and actually understand what they're telling us.
And hopefully they'll understand us too, right?
Well, yeah, ideally they'll be so intuitive that anyone can use them, even if you're, totally new to crypto.
It's a pretty powerful idea, you know? Democratizing access to financial advice.
Totally. Giving everyone the chance to have an AI working for them, optimizing their portfolio, helping them reach their goals.
Okay, but let's be real.
Right.
We're still pretty early in this whole AI thing, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Lots of unknowns.
Definitely.
Lots of challenges ahead, both with the tech itself and figuring out how to regulate all this.
Absolutely. We got to be cautious and make sure we're integrating these AI agents responsibly and ethically, right?
Right. Always a good thing to keep in mind.
Lincoln stressed that, for sure. The need for safeguards to prevent bad actors from taking advantage. And, he even raised the whole question of how we'll regulate these things.
Yeah, how do you regulate a robot?
Exactly. How do we ensure fairness and transparency in a market that's increasingly driven by, algorithms?
It's kind of like we're entering uncharted territory, right? Exciting, but also a little scary.
Totally. But even with all the uncertainty, there's this, buzz around AI and crypto. You can feel the potential.
Yeah, I get that. So we've talked about the tech, we've talked about the financial side of things, but Lincoln also got into some pretty deep philosophical stuff too, right?
Oh, yeah. That was really interesting, some big picture questions about the future of finance and the role humans will play in all this.
Yeah.
So as we, keep unpacking this interview, let's keep those bigger questions in mind.
Okay, yeah. What kind of future are we building here?
Right. Do we want AI to enhance our lives or, take over completely?
Important stuff to think about.
Those are the conversations we need to be having right now as we navigate this crazy new world.
Well said. Okay, so for the last part of our deep dive, I want to shift gears a bit and talk about some of those philosophical and ethical questions that Lincoln brought up. So one of the most interesting things Lincoln talked about was whether we might need to, learn a new way to communicate with machines.
Yeah, as AI agents get smarter and smarter.
Yeah, right now we're basically just giving them simple instructions, right?
Buy this or sell that.
Exactly.
But what happens when those decisions get more complicated?
Yeah.
When they involve all these factors we haven't explicitly, programmed into their algorithms.
Right.
We need to understand how their brains work at a deeper level.
Just to, tell them what we want,
Exactly, yeah.
So instead of just giving commands, maybe we'll need to actually have a conversation with our AI agents.
Yeah, like imagine actually being able to talk to your AI financial advisor, like a real conversation,
Yeah.
exploring different possibilities.
Bouncing ideas off them.
Exactly, asking questions and getting a better sense of like why they're making certain recommendations.
That's pretty wild. But it also makes me think about trust.
Mm-hmm.
How do we learn to trust an AI agent, especially when it's dealing with our money,
Yeah, that's a tough one. Trust is a tricky thing.
For sure.
It'll probably, change over time as we get more used to interacting with these agents.
Yeah, like at first, we're going to be skeptical.
Oh, definitely. Double-checking everything, wanting to keep control.
Exactly.
But as AI agents start to prove themselves, like consistently make good decisions and get results,
Yeah, and they build up a track record.
that trust will probably start to grow.
It's kind of like how we've learned to trust other tech, right?
Yeah.
Think about online banking,
Right.
e-commerce.
People were freaked out at first,
Early.
but then they proved themselves and now everyone uses them.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be the same with AI agents.
Yeah, okay.
Slowly earning our trust just by being reliable.
And doing what they're supposed to do.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So as that trust grows, do you think AI agents could become more than just, like, tools?
It's a fascinating question, right? Like, could they become actual advisors,
Yeah.
partners in our financial decisions?
That's a huge shift.
It is. It really changes the dynamic.
Yeah.
It's not just, hey, AI, do this thing for me.
Yeah.
It's more like a collaboration.
Right. More of a back and forth.
Exactly.
Okay. But that also brings up some, potentially tricky questions.
Yeah. Like, what if we get so reliant on these agents that we forget how to manage our own finances?
Yeah. Do we just become totally passive and let the robots do everything?
That's a real concern. We could lose our own skills and critical thinking,
Yeah, exactly.
So it's all about finding that balance.
Right.
Embracing the power of AI, but also making sure we stay engaged.
So it's not about being completely hands-off.
Right.
It's about using AI to make smarter decisions.
Exactly.
Freeing up our time to focus on, like, the things we're actually good at.
Right. And ultimately, that's what makes this whole topic so interesting. We're not just talking about technology. We're talking about our relationship with it.
And how it's going to shape our future.
How we can make sure it's a positive thing for everyone.
Well, I think that's a great place to wrap things up. We've covered a lot of ground, from the technical details to the financial implications and even some of those bigger philosophical questions.
Yeah. Definitely a lot to think about.
I don't know about you, but I'm walking away feeling a mix of excitement and, I got to admit, a little bit of anxiety about what all this means for the future.
It's understandable. It's a brave new world.
It really is.
But that's what makes it so exciting, right?
Yes, sure.
We're on the edge of something huge.
Absolutely.
And it's up to us to figure out how to navigate it.
So to all our listeners out there, keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep having those important conversations about the kind of AI-powered future we want to build.
Because who knows, maybe someday those AI agents will be joining us in these discussions. That would be wild. But until then, keep exploring, keep challenging those assumptions, and keep diving deep with us. See you next time.